This is just the list you've always been waiting for. Spider lovers, this is for you. Spider haters, this is to be informative, so you know just what's out there and where to avoid traveling. There are some genuinely giant, scary spiders out there in the world, and these are some of the biggest. Here you'll find some arachnids that are kind of cute and docile. You'll also find some that are terrifying, disgusting, and deadly. Enough talking, this is biggest spiders in the world. 10. Sydney Funnelweb Spider. This fair-sized spider is a megalomorph, and a poisonous one at that, that's native to eastern Australia, and they're commonly found within 100 kilometers, or 62 miles of Sydney. They most definitely pose a danger to humans, and can cause serious injury, illness, or even worse if a bite is left untreated. They're ordinarily dark-colored, typically a dark plum, blue-black, black, or brown, and they're always glossy. They were first described back in 1887 by Reverend Octavius Pickard, Cambridge, who was using a female specimen located at the British Museum as his example. They're considered medium to large in size and have a body length of 1 to 5 centimeters or 0.4 to 2 inches, and that's not including their legs. The legs typically grow to be 6 to 7 centimeters or 2.3 to 2.7 inches long, meaning in total, this thing can reach up to 12 centimeters or 4.72 inches, and that is far too big for simple folk like us. 9. Dock Spider. Oh baby. This spider is scary not only for its size, but for its unusual and super creepy ability to run across water in order to catch its prey that has become trapped on the surface. It makes sense then why this thing is also known as the raft spider, fishing spider, wharf spider, and by its scientific name, Dolomedes, which sounds like a Greek god or villain, doesn't it? Most dock spiders are known to be semi-aquatic and hunt by waiting on the edges of water, waiting for ripples to pass by, signaling struggling prey on the water surface. The dock spider then scurries quickly to the fallen victim and subdues it using its claw-tipped forelegs. They then use their hollow jaws to inject the prey with venom and consume them, much like other spiders. These things don't always hunt other bugs though. In fact, some of the larger ones will even attack and eat small fish. How, you may ask? Well, some females of the species can grow to have bodies around 1 inch long and a leg span of 3.1 inches. That's exactly as wide as an iPhone 7 Plus. Scary? Yeah, especially considering there are over 100 species, and they're found all over the world. 8. Poecilotheria. This is one bad-as-heck spider, and while it's not quite the biggest on this list, it is one of the scarier ones. Poecilotheria is a large genus of spider in the family Ctenidae and pose a very significant risk to human beings. They're typically found in both Central and South America, and 2 species of Poecilotheria are called Brazilian wandering spiders, although they're not always found in Brazil. You may know the name Brazilian wandering spider, and you may now understand why these things are so darn scary. They not only grow, at times, to between 13 and 15 centimeters or 5.1 to 5.9 inches, but they are also easily misidentified as Cupione, a non-medically threatening spider to humans. And you can see why that's a problem. The Brazilian wandering spider is called so because of its tendency to wander around the floor of jungles at night, hunting and doing other spider business rather than staying put in a lair or in a web. They're big, they're scary, they're deadly, and we wouldn't recommend trying to get a closer look at these anytime, ever. 7. Camel Spider. Yeah, we're gonna give this one a big old nope. These guys commonly go by the name camel spiders, but they're also called sun spiders, solifuges, or wind scorpions. But they're not scorpions, right? No, they're not. But they're also not true spiders either. They're almost like a combination of the two, and are quite deadly to small arthropods, and even small animals. Yeah, we did say animals, and that makes these suckers even more freaky. They most commonly eat species of beetles and termites, but at times, they go for small rodents, lizards, and even snakes. They use their pedipalps, appendages near their jaws and in the front of their front legs, to locate their prey and then use their jaws to kill and cut them to pieces. Seriously, this spider is not something we'd want to mess with were we a beetle or a lizard or a snake. They're generally found in deserts all over the world, except for in Australia and Antarctica, and can grow to around 2 to 3 inches in body length with a total size of up to 5 or 6 inches when you include the legs. They're huge. Well, to us they are, but according to the world, they're still relatively small compared to what's to come. 6. Colombian giant tarantula. Here's another big old tarantula, and we guess nobody should be surprised, because when one thinks of a giant spider, tarantulas typically come to mind. This scary spider actually isn't very scary at all, considering it poses no real danger to humans, much like its cousin, the face-sized tarantula, and is a desirable arachnid for spider collectors everywhere. They're found in, you guessed it, Colombia, but also in Brazil, in rainforests. They are diggers, meaning that they burrow beneath the ground, making them reasonably tough to find out in the wild. But that's that's definitely a good thing for them. They feed on things like large insects and crickets, small lizards, and many small species of mice. They grow to be between 6 and 8 inches, including their furry little legs. 5. Poecilotheria Rajaei. Oh, heck no. Tarantulas seem a bit sketchy in the first place. We mean, they're huge. But this tarantula, which has the nickname Face-Sized Tarantula, is pretty scary due to its size, growing up to 20 centimeters or 8 inches. But it's not even the biggest tarantula on this list. Go figure. Anyways, it got its nickname because it's, well, about the same size as a human face. And if that's not enough to scare you, we don't know what is. The Poecilotheria Rajaei is endemic to Sri Lanka, and its name comes from a couple of Greek words, poikilos, which means spotted, and therion, which means wild beast. So, spotted wild beast. Sounds cute, right? It was first found back in 2009, when a villager brought a dead member of this species to a man who was conducting a study of arachnids in Sri Lanka at the time. Then, it was first described in 2012 in a publication of the British Tarantula Society, and the rest is history. They grow up to 8 inches, yes, 8, and eat things like rodents, lizards, snakes, and birds. 4. Hercules Baboon Spider. Okay, so there is debate these days on whether or not this spider is still alive, and well, considering the last time one was actually seen in the wild was way back in 1900. But that doesn't mean that it's not, or was not, a huge spider. So here it is on our list. The Hercules Baboon Spider was known to roam the tall grasslands of eastern Africa and grew to around 21 centimeters or 8.3 inches long, including its legs. They subsisted on a diet of mostly insects and possibly tiny animals, and they were also known sometimes to become cannibalistic, going after other spiders and eating them for survival. We hope they're still around and just really great at hiding, but if not, at least they'll forever be remembered as one of the giants. 3. Brazilian Salmon Pink Birdeater. Now, that may seem like one crazy name for a simple spider, and it is, considering it's a nickname, but it sure is easier to pronounce than Lacidora paraibana, its scientific name. This guy hails from, well, Brazil, and was discovered back in 1917 in Paraíba. They are often kept as pets by spider enthusiasts, and despite their large size, they don't really bite humans, and even if they did, they're not poisonous. They're considered to be very docile creatures, and really only ever bite when provoked, and as a very last resort. The males of the species tend to grow longer than females, considering their legs are longer, and they can reach 27.9 centimeters or 11 inches. Females, though, are typically heavier and can run upwards of 100 grams and have a fairly bulky body with shorter legs, whereas the males are slim with really long legs. In the wild, they feed on amphibians, large insects, and small reptiles, and although they're called bird eaters, there's no real evidence to support the idea that they actually ever eat birds. No wonder they're so popular. They're huge and they're cool, calm, and collected, and are known for their willingness to sit out in the open. They probably just like to be looked at. So vain. 2. Giant Huntsman. This freaky little bugger is just one in the family of Huntsman spiders. Spiders that are big and quick and chase down their prey. Judging by leg span, it is one of the largest spiders in all of the world and can grow to be 30 centimeters or 1 foot in size. Their legs are relatively long in comparison to their bodies, and they twist forward almost crab-like. Not to say that they don't have fairly big bodies as well. They normally have a body length of around 4.6 centimeters or roughly around 1.8 inches, which we don't think is very little at all. The giant huntsman was first discovered in a cave in Laos and was subsequently described not long after in 2001 by P. Jagger. The discovery, which was fairly recent, was remarked upon by a representative for the Worldwide Fund for Nature, who suggested that it was pretty crazy that this species went undiscovered for so long due to its enormous size. So far, it's only been seen in Laos, so unless you live there, you probably don't have much to worry about. We've got one more giant spider on our list, but first, we have a question for you. How do you feel about spiders? Have there been any on this list that got your skin crawling more so than the others? We'd love to hear all about your spine-tingling viewing experience down in the comments. 1. Goliath Birdeater. We made it. Aren't you so excited to learn about the biggest spider in all the land? Meet the Goliath Birdeater, a tarantula that is found in northern South America. The only thing that this spider doesn't have on all the others is the longest leg span. That award goes to the giant huntsman, but it is the largest according to both mass and overall size. Despite its name, it doesn't eat birds very often. In fact, the bird eater nickname for many spiders actually comes from a copper engraving done in the 18th century that showed a spider chewing down on a hummingbird. hummingbird. No, the Goliath Birdeater actually usually eats things like worms, amphibians, and large arthropods, and it's sometimes known to make a meal of toads, lizards, small rodents, and even snakes. Now, just how big is this little critter? Well, they can have leg spans that, at times, reach 11 inches, but they often have bodies measuring upwards of 11.9 centimeters or 4.7 inches in length, and weigh up to 175 grams or 6.2 ounces. Now that's a giant, Goliath spider. And it's over. We sure hoped you enjoyed the video. If so, help us out and click the like button below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you never miss out on any of the great videos we put out multiple times a week, and enjoy this next video we picked out just for you.